Do you find that people are more afraid of their health than anything these days? They're afraid of their body, they're afraid of being sick, they're afraid of getting ill. There's been a fear put upon us about our bodies, as though our bodies aren't powerful, as though our bodies cannot handle, I don't know, organisms that are outside of itself, right? Because our body is an organism. It's a very complex, beautiful, powerful, self-healing organism. Yes, that's what we are, whether we look like this or not, right? And so what's gone on in the last 100 years is especially, and I can't speak before that because really what I've educated myself on is like the 1900s and up, is that you are powerless. If your body has a problem, you need to find a doctor. So we've grown away from learning about our body, having confidence in it, truly understanding and knowing what it's about, what it needs, how it, functions. We don't have to take class at school with a textbook and study and learn about our body because it is a natural knowledge and wisdom everyone holds. All of us hold this natural wisdom. So we fell away from it because I don't want to push the issue, but just that people particularly decided they wanted to be in control of everything. And what they did was, I mean, if you know, right? Certain industries took over pretty much everything. Our healthcare, our education system. Um, and what we learn, what we get as medicine, what we get as information, they allow us only to have certain information. It's very creepy. If you're in today's world and you're like, wow, they are filtering out truth, calling it misinformation or whatever. And then they'll spoof something online like theirs is the truth when they're lying, manipulating. So we're in this place right now. And I have obviously, as a nurse, been in the healthcare field for the last almost 30 years. Because I mean, I was 19 when I started being like a nursing assistant. And I was in nursing school. So, I'm 47 now. And it's like, all right, it's my whole life, really, or the second half of my life. And what I will say is that obviously, as I sat in this field, and just even in the beginning, I was like, you know, what, what? Like, why are we avoiding this, and this? Why aren't we taking the whole thing you know, into consideration? So I went and did my own studying. That's basically how it all worked, is like, I went to different schools and my bookshelf full of amazing work, texts and information and wisdom, and none of it was lies, right? It was all truth, but it wasn't a truth that our medical profession will accept, you know? And as I did more research, I was like, wow, they purposefully have kept this away. And yes, we're looking at the fact that the pharmaceutical companies run the medical world, the industry. They actually are the school. Like they took over, they gave money to the schooling, the medical schools, and then they control what the information is. And so within time, every time I hear a new diagnosis name, my whole being retches. Like I literally feel sick and angry all together. Like I'm really angry, about it. And it's an injustice, more tyrannical injustice put upon the people. Okay. There's 14 names for the same thing. right? They're not looking at, hey, your kidneys are screaming, right? They need attention. They're having issues. Let's get on it. Because you can. You can literally be like, so here's the thing. You go into a doctor with a symptom. So your body is already screaming. Now, when you're getting a symptom, the it's not like it just started, like the issue itself has probably been going on. I'm really truthful about this, is that when we get that pain, it's not in a good place anymore. So we got there within the 20-year span of constantly eating or doing the same thing that created a weakness and difficulty and struggle, and like, see, certain organs are challenged by things, right? Like the liver is the detoxifier. It takes the most hits. The liver and the kidneys take the most hits of all. So here's the thing. What can you do about the liver and the kidneys? So much. As mine just twinges and it's like, hey, speaking of, right? I come on not as I'm perfect, but as somebody who is seen through the medical world of today. I see through them. Any little thing they do nowadays, I see right through it. That's why in 2020, because I was already seeing through them, I was like, oh, look what they're trying to pull now. A whole nother flu that they created. Again, why can't people see that these things are being purposefully created to weaken? See, people think I'm crazy, right? Like, oh, they're trying to weaken us. No, Trish, that's not true. They wouldn't do that. Yes, they do. It's exactly what's going on. Why, when somebody has cancer, would you not put them straight away into hyperbaric treatment, get them on a strict dietary regime? And I mean like juicing and herbal and, right? Like literal. Clean them out, right? There's like 3 things you can do right away when somebody has cancer. Not sit around, have them go home and feel like they're going to die, and then say, well, we'll start your treatment on Monday. Your chemo, your battery acid in your vein. I, as a nurse, cannot touch it with my hand. I have to do double gloves. If it spills a drop on the floor, it's like the masked zone. Like we have to, it's like, hazmat. But let's put it in your vein. When your body is struggling to be strong against whatever's breaking down. Now, cancer, I see in all different ways. They make you run away from it, but I think that there's so many degrees of what's going on. I feel like they call everything cancer as well. When it's like, okay, the cells aren't doing well in that area. What can we do about it, right? Anyway. First thing you can do literally that day in the office, if it's cancer or whatever, they call everything cancer once again, put them in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Start that 5 days a week. Boom. I mean, 7 days a week, to be honest, for at least a month or 2. And then right away, a nutritionist comes in their house the next day. And the nutritionist isn't a dietitian who's like, let's watch your sodium content. No, nope. Those don't work. Sorry, dietitians and people from, who got their degrees. I love you so much for caring about food. But even as one that I had heard, she was a student, she did research on raw food. And she was like, holy, blown away. This is amazing. And they were like, well, that's great. You did that research, but you're going to have to drop it here. And she's like, sorry, can't bring it with you into your job. She was like, son of a. And so I said, of course, they don't want the stuff that's good for us out there to heal us, because then we're not a customer anymore. Then we know how to take care of our health. Once we're trained to really see our health, take care of our body, whatever hey, little like bells go off. We're like, okay, what am I doing to myself? What has this that's stressing about you? Because when you're in touch with yourself, you'll be able to analyze, oh, okay, I feel a heaviness or a pain or something somewhere, you can think of, what did I just eat? What did I drink? What am I doing? You can totally identify it, because that, again, my friends, is your natural way. You don't have to be smart. This is everybody's God-given right and truth. Like, I mean, you're able to hone in and figure out what it is a lot of the time. You can at least know what you did to cause it. And then it's up to you to change that, right? There's no magic pill that's going to fix it. Pills don't fix anything. I'm sorry, but they don't. Not even antibiotics. I'm going to tell you my truth. My truth. This is just my opinion. They don't fix anything at all. Could they be a bridge to get you to the other side when you are on the direst point? That I believe, right? You're about to crap out, but it brings you up for a second, and now you have the room to start building yourself. So to me, that's what it's about. It's about building ourselves, right? Learning about our body. So again, when you got a cancer patient, nutritionist goes in. First things first, you're going to get to know what this person eats, how they eat, when they eat. All of that's very important. And then their hydration. Also, you're then there at their house to look through their cupboards and their refrigerator. You have to address food. You have to. And when you start addressing the food, you realize there's a lot of emotional, mental, and there's a bunch of stuff around food. And then you really got to get into that. So your nutritionist is not just coming in to bring a juicer, which, your insurance will bring in a juicer, right? Right away, doctor, you got cancer. I'm ordering you a juicer. And there's a supplier, like a medical supply shop. They got beautiful juicers for people. So we get one of those brought to the house. We're going to go through all that. And then we're going to go through, obviously, all the other eating stuff. Why, you're going to address, because cancer and breakdown in the body isn't just by chance. I mean, number one, all the chemicals, pesticides and sprays and all the poison that they give us, that's part of it. Okay, because all those companies have been sued 100,000 times over, billions of dollars, but they're still allowed to put that product out there that caused cancer. And our, fabulous Food and Drug Administration allows cancer-causing things into the Americans. Just please look into that, because other countries don't allow certain things. But man, they are poisoning us so hard here in the US. It's hard. So yes, that stuff's really, if your body's not in the strongest position and you get those toxins and poisons and everybody's building up in there, of course things are going to go wrong, AKA cancer or blah, blah, blah disease or whatever. I'm telling you what. It'll weaken whatever part of you is going to be weak. Everybody's body's different. So something in you is going to get weaker in this form. And somebody over here is going to, and they're like, oh, it's genetic. Oh, you know what? There's ways to strengthen all of it. We can bypass our genetic weaknesses by getting in it today, straightening ourselves out, right? And then we can help the future generations because we have handled it. We don't have to be a victim to some genetic weakness. I promise you, everything in your body is cells. You can absolutely alter, change, and do things to heal those. And I'm talking not just food and herbs and everything. You can use frequencies. We could do meditation and visualization to literally come to a place to heal this beautiful vessel. We have far too long been fooled to believe that this is it's a piece of crap, because somebody who's told they have kidney disease doesn't get answers as to how to get their kidneys back, heal them, and get them well. Why not? Because they don't want that. You know that the kidneys also represent, in a sense, right? Because I was going to get into this chart that I have that's not going to show up. Okay, there it is. The kidneys represent certain emotions and It's there as an expression, not like an expression of emotion and doing in life. All the organs do. Everything, our bones, everything is an expression of us in life, not just there to be a part. We have all these parts working for us. I mean, truthfully, it didn't have to be so complex, but we are. We're really like a complex, powerful, amazing being. We are actually one of the species in the universe that is abundant in so many forms. Like we get we get to experience emotion, we get to experience, I mean, even like childbirth, sensuality, awe, and there's just so many things that we are not just this physical cellular body that's failing and whatever. Once your doctor gives you a couple diagnoses, that's what he looks at you as, a bunch of diseases. And like they just feed you medication as you weaken and weaken and go downhill, because that's all I did was watch people go downhill in most of my work. I didn't see everybody after a certain point, obviously, because I didn't follow people forever, but I certainly lived in a small community for 10 years. And for 7 of those years, I followed, well, the whole 10 years. Because I worked in the hospital for 3, and then I did home health and hospice. In the hospital, I got to know a lot of people in the neighborhood, and they were frequent flyers. So 3 years, I got to know a lot of them anyway, because they were always in there. Same problem. Just a little, they like fixed you enough to set you out back into the streets. No tools. They pretend that there's a tool or two that they give you, like, oh, social work or physical therapy or something, like, or a new oxygen tank, or, a new tool. Nobody was getting help. They felt better leaving. Some, not everybody. But anyway, getting to know those people, I just watched people leave this life. Poof, poof, poof. They weren't getting help. We were in there medicating the heck out of their body to force it to show up like it's working. That's what medications do. They force, like, people need to see this. Basically, they tell the body, fuck you, I'm here, I say what goes on, right? Antibiotic goes in, the immune system's like, yo, what's going on here? And then the antibiotic's like, dude, I'm here, I'm gonna take care of it. So the immune system's like, all right, I'll just sit back then. So next time you get sick, the immune system's like, well, I'm sure those antibiotics will show up. I'm not gonna respond as well. Maybe I'll respond a little. See how it tricks the body. Forcing. Eventually, all those underlying issues, the dam breaks, poof. You are now in, and only in, the worst place. Getting you back from there is going to be hard. But if we had addressed the issues as they came and did stuff to improve and help, you're going to go upward and onward. You could have a little setback and your body's going to be like, hey, and then you're like, okay, well, let's do what we got to do, heal this, whatever. And then as you go along, you start just taking better care because you have more information of like what works, what doesn't. You're more confident in doing better for yourself. Like, hey, I'm not going to take those pills to force this. I'm going to freaking work on this, right? Maybe I'm going to get more exercise in. I'm going to clean up my diet and get some really good nourishing fruits and vegetables in. I'm going to get more sunshine. I'm going to get out in nature. Like, you end up doing things that will improve the physical organism that you live in. This organism needs sunlight. This organism needs water. This organism, like, I actually believe that we, like plants, do synthesizing with the sun. The sun, yes, does help us create the hormone vitamin D. It's a hormone. And it's so essential. I actually have to leave the state I'm in because Oregon is gray for like 340 days of the year. I'm tired of it. But anyway, so what I want to say is that we just need to get to know our bodies again. We need to also respect them, honor them, and really, I don't know, be thankful and be like, wow, in awe of them. Like I'm in awe of my gorgeous body that is gorgeous in the sense that it's healthy, it talks to me, it gets me everywhere I gotta go. It's just it's there for me. And when I do things that aren't in its favor, I talk to it even, right? Like, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, which is such a great way to be in every realm to say that. And then, you honor it by giving it certain things that, it needs. So there's many reasons behind our illnesses. And one thing I want to talk about real quick too is because people are like, well, how do you get out of the medical world? I'm scared to get out of it. And it's like I haven't been in it for a long time. I didn't use it pretty much. I mean, since I was a teenager, I didn't like going to I didn't like the doctors. And I went there a few times for certain things, but like checkups, like I stopped worrying about those. And then as I learned about health and healing, because I did all the reading and the research, I was like, well, I'm just herbs, man. I'm just gonna take herbs. Like I'm gonna change my diet and get some herbs because they have medicinal quality, like mofo, potent medicinal qualities. So every time I would feel like I was getting sick coming on or whatever, the first thing, like, because I was, new at it, was the echinacea and the golden seal. Or elderberry's popular now, right? Because that has medicinal properties. We're starting to like take a little peek, and what's interesting? All those pharmaceutical companies, all the industries, like the five that control everything, have all taken to it. They're like, oh, I've got a wellness product for you. I've got elderberry for you that I put some fucking lead and cadmium and shit in. But here you go. Take my elderberry. I'm a big company that makes everything. So it's like when we started being vegan and getting healthy, because this started probably like 20 years ago, like bigger, it was coming on the scene. We were like starting to talk about it. Those industries were like, how can we profit here? And so they hijacked the movement, making their fake meats and stuff that people feel like I'm doing better for myself eating this. But then you see, like Bill Gates is involved. And then it's like, oh, they hijacked it and I'm sure they're poisoning it. I mean, come on. So nowadays, we have fruits and vegetables, organic, that are being poisoned. I mean, we're just paying more money. And it's funny because I look at some of it and I'm like, how is this lemon organic? It looks like the size of you know what it looks like? It looks like when you, in some kind of like kids cartoon movie, it gets pumped with like an injection of some kind, and then the brain's veins start coming out, and it's like that is what they're doing to the food. So when they know that we can heal our bodies with food and herbs, they're going to get to that stuff. And I'm not talking conspiracy, this is truth. They are literally attacking our food. I mean, there was just another farm, cage-free egg, one of the largest ones in the US, on fire. They have burnt down all sorts of plants, animals they've been killing, and they got 2020 farmers were getting letters saying you're going to have to destroy your crops because we think it's infected with this COVID stuff. And it was like, I don't think so, baby. I don't think so. But that's what they did. They had to burn their crops. It's become a so for me, it's like today, 2024, if you don't see what's going on, please check in. Please check in. Because unfortunately, me and people that I trust, we're not the ones in charge right now. Not yet. Not saying I'll be in charge, but I think we're going to get those. See ya. Okay. Because you're not helping. Now, I'm not saying part of the medical profession is like, oh, it's all bad. No, 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 no. Let's take the parts that are beautiful. Trauma medicine, saving lives, emergency surgeries, right? These, we're keeping that. And beautiful as those intensive situations, we need that. We're going to keep some drugs too, right? But a lot of them we can get rid of. Like there's literally commercials right now to lose weight and take that diabetes medicine, right? I'm not going to say its name, but like those Ozempic, whatever. There are commercials about I was fat and now I have this medication. I was big boned as a kid and, I've always been fat. No, it wasn't your diet or anything. Let's just take a pill that actually really hurts your body. Huh, huh, huh. I'm like so tired of it. You've no idea. I haven't watched TV. I haven't had cable or TV for 20 years because pharmaceutical commercials, I couldn't. And why am I going to pay all that money to watch commercials all day and listen to the stroke and death stuff? It amazes me that they have commercials and all that's being said. And somebody's like, doctor, can I have this pill? Creepy. You guys need to see how creepy it is. They have to spend millions in advertising to get you to want this new drug like that, right? God's planet that we live on has everything we need to survive. For clothing, shelter, water, food, all there, medicine, done. We're done. We've got obviously so much more spiritually than they have allowed. They've been taking God out of everything. And whether it's even God for you, it could be the divine source, universal, galactic, I don't care. But there is so much more to us. We are more energetic beings than we are physical. Think of that. But they are trying to erase all this information, you guys. I even looked up energetic field, the human energetic field. It's like a scientifically proven field. They are now debunking it, like that it was like supposedly, but it's not. Just like dragons in the 1920s were in the encyclopedia and dictionary as rare because they were real. But now today, dragons never real. You kidding me? I'm just like, I'm done. Like a horse with a horn wasn't real. But because they twist and make fun of and they mess with it. They don't want you to know this stuff's real. They don't want you to know that magic is real because they use it and they don't want you to. Why do you think they hold the symbols of 666? That's the number of magic. And when you do something in 369, right? Like threes, it's potent, right? That's why it's like when you see on the movies, the little spells they do, they say it 3 times. I mean, let me tell you guys, they know what's up. They don't want you to know what's up. They don't want you to know cleaning out your body is the most essential key to getting rid of disease because they don't do it. They used to do like cleansing, I mean, today's day and age, even at the hospital, I barely did enemas on people. I was like, why aren't we thinking, let's get some water in this lady and this guy because he's not pooped in like 5 days. How many laxatives can I give him before he does? And then it's like burn, right? The laxatives are like fire, just like burns through. It's like meant to partially penetrate through hardened crap that's dehydrated and been sitting there because the person is never moving or drinking water, or you have them on a water restriction. Yeah, because that's smart because their kidneys aren't working. Dumbest thing I ever heard. Why don't you work on filtering those kidneys, getting those kidneys to filter? Total ways to do that. So it's like once you know, and then you look at them and you're looking what they're doing and what they're saying, I honestly have no respect. And it's not for the particular people. I know doctors are there because they believe that they want to help heal people. Like, just like I was a little kid, that was like my passion. And it was actually to be a pediatrician to help children. But once I got into nursing, which, I started off, like if I wanted to be a doctor, I could move up. But I went into nursing. And once I got into the pediatrics and the kids, I was like, oh, hell no. I liked the kids, but the parents. I had a rough time with several of those people, and I was just a student basically and a nursing assistant. And yeah. So what I'd say is that this profession has fallen away from the truth. However, the truth is it's back. Good news. Good news. We get to reclaim ourselves. Yay. Because that's it. Their shit's not working anyway. Do you know that most people these days are so tired of not getting help, just getting a new pill, that they were like, I want to do something else. But and then there's a lot of people that are like, dude, I'm too afraid. So like I began this, you're too afraid to get away. You don't have to get away. Let them do their research and tell you what they want. But when you get a little clue to them that it's like, oh, your kidneys aren't doing well, you have this disease, or your lymph system, or your heart, or whatever, you have the power, the right, and the ability to work on that organ system. First things first, everybody can work on cleaning out their body and cleaning up their diet. Always possible. First thing to do. What am I doing that's hurting me? What do I drink or eat that hurts me? If you drink a lot of soda, if you drink a lot of coffee, if you're alcohol every day, there's so many things, guys, but like we don't want to give them up. So we like the doctor to just give us a pill so we could continue eating and drinking and doing all the things that we do, pretending that that's not a problem. But when we deeply, deeply, deeply know it's a problem. And the last thing I want to say in this video is that your health, your organ systems, all of this stuff is representative of different parts of your life, different things going on in your life. They hold traumas and memory. We hold a lot in ourselves. And, we have a subconscious mind that we all think like, oh yeah, I have one. It's like, but what does that actually mean? Holy crap, it's interesting and it's deep. And it's like, wow, we have so much programming. That is another reason why we're in this mess, because it's been programmed into us. Deprogramming is tough because you have to reprogram and start thinking differently and seeing things differently and doing different. And that is the biggest challenge as a human being, because we're so used to being in this place. We literally all need coaches, even including me. Like I could use a lot of different coaches. I could still use a health coach to be there on my side when I do have weak times. I could use a coach, especially financially or business-wise, right? We can always have help and support from one another. Those who are good in certain areas, right? I mean, literally, I feel like that's what humanity's getting back to. We're going to be helping each other. It's going to be beautiful. We got to get over this hump because these oligarchs, this shit in charge, it's breaking down. Ugh, it's a gross, gross feeling as it gets broken down. So my last thing was, and this chart that I brought into the attention earlier, I thought of this yesterday because Louise Hay, she was the first person to make me realize that like different organs or diseases could mean things. And is she God? No, but a lot of it was yes for me, right? I read it and I was like, duh, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Like your left side of your body is the feminine. The right side of the body is the masculine. How do we figure that? Does somebody make it up? I don't care, but that's the way it is. This is your receiving side. Your feminine is the receiver, right? Just think of her in the position of the nurturing. She receives, and the man is the giving. The masculine is the giving side. So if I injure one side or the other, or something happens, all right, what am I receiving? Blah, blah, blah. What am I giving on this, right? And I started to really look into that, and a lot of things made sense. And Louise Hay has a beautiful Heal Your Body, A to Z, and she has a couple books on like how things represent things in our life. And then there's this chart, Attitudinal Awareness Guide. And emotional and attitudinal causes of physical problems. Now, the right side of the body, which I just said, masculine energy, giving, assertive, extroverted, bringing ideas into action, inherited perceptions of the male image. It reflects relationship with one's own masculine side and or relationships with men, father, husband, boyfriend, coworkers, friends. Problems in this area may indicate unresolved relationships, resentment and anger with a particular male or males, inability to give to oneself or others, holding back on some level, inability to express or overexpression of masculine energy, or overexertion in work and or activities. So that is what they have here, but they also have fingers, feet, back, spine, blood, bones, breasts, colon, ears, joints, shoulders, skin, stomach. And this is just beautiful. It really gives you perspective. It really does. I was looking for arms. They don't have arms here. Top half of body. Let me read here. Communication, self-expression, the senses, emotions, touching, outgoing, assertive, active, sociable, interpersonal relationships. Problems in this area may indicate repressed emotional creative expression, also refer to other parts of the upper body. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to see, basically, everything going on with us, it isn't just this name of this disease. That shit's old. Like, nah. And there's so many things you can do to get into your health, get to know. There's meditation. There's even online guided meditations to get to know your body and your body, connect with your body, heal your body, visualizations, frequency healing music. Please do not discount that. YouTube is a gold mine of frequency music. Jason Stevenson with a PH. Self-Healing Collective. There are some amazing, and I'm telling you what, you put on some of that 528 hertz or 741 hertz frequency healing music. Put that on, and I promise you, if you just give yourself a second, clear your mind, put that on. First of all, see if it resonates, because I sometimes have to find one, right, for that moment. You'll feel literal change occur. I feel that, once you start to tune into your body, you'll feel the response that gave you. I'm telling you. And it's like, I also believe that part of our future is going to not only have to be physical nutrition and stuff. It's going to be frequencies. We can literally heal our bodies with frequency, light, light, sound, frequency, oxygen. And I don't know, probably nature. I mean, that's the answer, is oxygen, nature, and frequency. I think we could heal just about everything. So yeah, I'll just leave it there, because I mean, I have a million other thoughts, and I love look, I'm one of those people, like, I love archangels, and I'm into my guides, I'm into the galactics, even coming in and helping. I do feel like I personally have a huge team that is always looking out for me and helping me. And, it's funny because I have this deck, I love Oracle decks and stuff too. They're just super fun to work with and positive and everything. And this one happens to be Archangel Raphael, who he is known to be the angel of healing, physical especially, right? And I get caffeine free. Guess what I do? I still have coffee in my life, even if it's just half a cup a day, basically. It's definitely something I know my kidneys aren't happy about. And there it is. I get a card for that. Tells me to go in, get some sunlight. Well, I wish I could, but I live in Oregon and they sprayed the stupid sky yesterday so that I have this today. Unconditional joy, right? Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me appreciate everything that makes me happy right now. That indeed will affect my health. Last thing I'll leave you with, how you feel. If you're grateful and you find the joy, it's a cloudy day, I could still see the birds and be like, I love you. I love this day. I love my house. I love my life. I love this and that. And you're grateful for it. Even if your health's struggling, I'm so grateful that my bed is it's the most comfortable thing and it really comforts me. Or I'm so grateful that my plants are thriving and they just bring love and light into my life. Just see things that way. And I'll tell you, a part of how I feel like I've healed myself is through all that. How my outlook on life. I don't let people in my life anymore that are crappy and bring me down. Like I literally had to move away from, people in my life back in the day that were going to be disease causers in my life. I had to get away from them. And even if I went 3,000 miles to the other side of the country, I can breathe here. I could be myself here. I got to know myself and be myself because I didn't have my family and, other people I knew to tell me who to be, how to be, and what to do and what to be. I had to be alone to do that. And I'm so grateful for that. Sure, I miss them. Love all of those people. I love family, but it's like, I don't need them to determine who I am. And I feel free. Even the passing of one of my family members made me feel like a huge weight come off of me. And then I let go of nursing, and that was another huge weight that I've never felt so good in my life. And I feel so free. And although there are things I struggle with, so no, everything isn't just perfect. I'm working on other things, but again, it's the programming. It's not my health stuff because I figured that out. Like I'm deprogrammed and reprogrammed myself to what health really is. But then there's other areas of my life. So, we're all working on something. I know people who are like very on the health tip, raw, blue, man, they got it down when it comes to their diet, but they got other in their life. Other areas of their life ain't all that golden, right? So we're always working on different parts of our lives. And that's the thing, is that we cannot neglect everything. We'll get into another video. I'll talk about the wheel of life or whatever, all the areas of our life. That'll be a really good video to do next too, because when we start looking at all of the areas, like our education, our spirituality, our relationships with people, our career, our life purpose, our health and exercise, our, emotional and states, when you start touching on all the categories, that's the healing as well. That brings healing, you guys, and reconnection to oneself. And like, you honor yourself more and more as time moves on. And it's just like, it's really beautiful. So you guys take good care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, any, thoughts, or, maybe what you want to talk about another time. And until then, do some research, start looking at your health differently, and start loving your body and yourself more, because you are amazing. You're important. You're powerful. That is like, everyone has that essence, no matter what you might not believe that. It may take you a little while to truly believe it, but I know you can, and I know you'll get there, and I'll be there to help you as much as I can. So you guys, I love you. I'll see you next video. Bye guys.